Hey, everybody. Hope all is well. So, I've been trying to come on live with Sabrina for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, but unfortunately, she's crazy busy. So, I thought I would just come on at least. We're packing up the RV and getting ready to leave Virginia in the next couple of days. I'm pretty sure we're leaving like first thing in the morning on Wednesday, and we're going to head up north. We're going to go to Iowa and drop off the Vita and have our windshield replaced in our Vista. So we picked up on our way here. Man, that was 6 months ago. I can't believe we've been sitting for 6 months. But that on our way here, we picked up some chips in our windshield, and of course they spread. We tried to stop them from spreading, but they were pretty bad. A van had passed us, and I don't know. I don't think it came off the van per se, but maybe just like kicked off of its tires, and it threw a boatload of stones at the windshield. And we received a few cracks. One is like 3 feet long, the other one's 2 feet long. We had a chip on my side. Luckily, on my side, um, I was able to fix that one and I got like a little kit that I was able to fix from like an O'Reilly's or something like that. And that one stopped. The other ones I couldn't fix, but they're on Sabrina's side, so at least they don't impair my vision. So, like I said, we're packing up our RVs. We're actually going to pack up the Vita completely, probably the day before we leave. Get it off blocks and just unplug everything and pack it up so that all we have to do is, literally, Sabrina will just jump into the Vita and she'll follow me in the Winnebago. So I'll tow our car behind this. I was thinking about maybe Sabrina should tow it behind the Vita, but that would be kind of mean. She's already a little stressed about driving the Vita. So it's I drove it. I think it's really easy. It drives like an SUV, but Sabrina's not much of a driver as far as, she just doesn't care for driving too much. So hey, Pie Management. So Sabrina's working. I we've been trying to get on here to do a live video and a little bit of an update, but she's just been so swamped. I was like, you know what? I better just come on, and I'll just come on by myself. Belle's here with me. She's next to me. I'm trying to get her to stay calm. Here she is. She heard her name. But yeah, so Sabrina's a little nervous about the drive. It's about a 1,200-mile drive from here. So we're leaving for Virginia and driving to Iowa. And I think Sabrina will do fine in the Vita. She's kind of just psyching herself up a little bit. It's a big vehicle, but it's a small RV. I guess it would be the best way to say it. So we did all of our laundry. We're doing laundry on our comforters and sheets and all that stuff. We're driving a little further the first day than we wanted to. So we have a Garmin GPS, and we put in the destination for Winnebago, and then you can, like, because it's made for RVs, it will give you spots all along the trip. Whatever you program in there, Flying J's or whatever. And we found a Cabela's that has good reviews on RV Parky, but it's a little further than what we were hoping to drive in a single day. I think it's about 350 miles, which is fine for me. But like I said, with Sabrina being a little anxious with the driving, it'll be a long day for Sabrina. But it'll be worth it because, like I said, RV Parky has this Cabela's with really good reviews. And I don't know if you've never stayed at a Cabela's. Cabela's are pretty cool. They let you stay overnight if you're in an RV. They have a dump station for RVs. I think there's usually a small fee for it. I don't think they charge a whole lot. So it's just there's lights, there's security cameras. It's a great spot. So if you're like ever driving around and you're just looking for a spot to stay for the night, and maybe it's just a short little stay over, check out Cabela's. They usually have. Come on, Belle, you want to come up here and lay down, or do you want to keep running around? Yeah, I think she's gonna be nervous. RV Mojo's. Yeah, it's. I think by the time she gets comfortable driving, we'll be there, and then the trip will be all over. So come on, Belle. So it should be really interesting to see. I hope to get some footage of her. I obviously won't be able to get footage of her driving, but at least some reaction, like when we pull over for the first time and uh, see how things are going. The vehicle has like lane assist, it has assist braking, it has crosswind assist. So I'm guessing it's going to be pretty easy. She's driven it here around town just to get a feel for it, and she said it was fine, but she doesn't like drive. I mean, she doesn't even like driving our car. She's just not. She'd rather be a passenger. I mean, I guess I don't blame her. She gets to watch her Netflix and catch up on studying and catch up on notes and work and things like that. So she's stressed, but I think she'll be just fine. My wife will kill me that I'm watching without her. Oh, I think that's a compliment. I'll take it. It's funny. Sometimes we get good comments. Sometimes we get bad comments. Somebody wrote to us, I guess, but they were talking to me and they said, if I close my eyes, it sounds like I'm listening to Fozzie Bear. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I took it as a compliment because I used to watch the Muppets all the time as a kid. And I remember walking around as a kid and going, waka, waka, waka. So maybe I do sound like Fozzie Bear. I will say that I don't like the sound of my voice when I hear it on recordings and stuff like that, which is kind of weird to be making videos and have a podcast and stuff like that, and then not want to listen to your voice. But luckily for the podcast, at least Sean does all of our editing. And I know I'll write back to him. He edits the videos, sends them to me, and then I'll listen to them. And I'll say, oh, can you take out that part that I said? I sound funny here. I sound funny there. I never ask him to change anything that he says, but I'm always asking him to change things that I have said. I don't know if anybody really likes the sound of their voice. I think most people don't like to hear recordings of their voice. I think we have a different idea of what we actually sound like in our head. And then when we hear it, it's like, oh, man, do I really sound like that? Hey, Chris, I see Chris is on. Normally, Sabrina reads the comments while I'm talking, but that's okay. We have some exciting news. I think it's exciting. Sabrina thought it was exciting, but it doesn't. So I'll just come out and say that we've been promoted by Winnebago from Winnebago contributors to Winnebago ambassadors. And when I told Sean this, he said, "So what does that mean?" I said, "I don't think it really means anything, but it's just I think a kind of a fact that we're recognized by Winnebago to be trusted enough to represent the company in some sort of way." I think when like live shows start picking up again, like the RV shows and things like that, we'll probably be invited to go to those shows and do. I hate to say meet and greets. I don't know if anybody really wants to meet and greet us, but we'll be able to like meet people and maybe talk about our experience with Winnebago, what it's been like to have our Winnebago for the last 4 years and travel full time and things like that. I said to Sabrina, I said, well, Winnebago ambassador sounds better than Winnebago pawn, I guess, so that's good. But we were pretty excited, even though it doesn't really change. We don't know. I don't know if it really changes much about anything at all. We've been working with Winnebago for, I guess, 3.5 years. And I thought about making a video on how that all happened, because I don't think we ever talked about how did we become involved with Winnebago. Because when we bought our Winnebago, we were like new to RVing. Like we didn't really know. The only thing we knew about RVing is whatever we kind of studied about. And then we went to the Winnebago rally the first year that we bought the RV. Like we moved into our RV in May and then went to the Winnebago rally in July. And that's the first time we met anybody from Winnebago. And I'll make a whole video about it. But I mean, in a sense, they just kind of liked us and said, hey, we're looking for people to write for us and do videos and participate like true owners, of somebody that went out and bought the Winnebago product, I guess, and are enjoying it. And like I said, they kind of liked our personality. There's a little bit more to it than that of just how we even got introduced to marketing, which I think is kind of a fun story too. So I'll make a video about that. I'll try to get Sabrina to sit down with me and do the video along with me, because obviously she was there too. But I will say it has more to do with me. I can say that stuff when she's not sitting here. But yeah, we were super excited. I told my parents the same thing, and they had the same question that Sean said. So what does that mean? And I wish I had a better answer of what that means. I really think the big difference will be that maybe we'll be invited to go to more shows, which would be awesome for us because we like meeting people. So I think that'll be fun. And I guess it'll mean more video projects with them too. We already do video projects with them, but mostly I write articles for them, and then the articles go on their Winnebago life. But Right now, I just finished a video for them, and I'm working on another video for them and another article for them. So it might just mean more work with them, I guess, in a sense. Let me take a break here and try to catch up to see what people are saying. Thank you, Pi. We deserve it. Yeah, I don't know. So I could tell you, I'll tell you the story of how we became Winnebago ambassadors, or I mean, Winnebago contributors. Unfortunately have no idea why we became ambassadors, other than the fact that Winnebago does like us a lot. So we do video chats with the marketing team every once in a while. We're on Zoom meetings with them. And I know we definitely make them laugh. And we always have good things to say about our Winnebago experience. I'm sure that helps too. But they just seem to like us, which is nice. So, I mean, that's always good. How could anyone not like you guys? Michael, you'd be surprised from some of the comments that we get. When do you think we're headed to Arizona? So our plans have changed. Originally, we were going to be in Arizona for the winter. And when I say winter, like starting in December, I believe now we're going to be in California for the winter in December. And I don't think so. Sabrina, as you guys might know, gives me very little time to get us anywhere. And we are jumping around. So our schedule is, I mean, it's always ridiculous. So we're going north first. We're going to Iowa. Then we're going to Indiana for, no, I'm sorry, Iowa to Minnesota to Indiana to back to Northern Virginia, then to Southern Virginia, then to California. And that's all from now until like December 7th. Thanks, Mike. I think I have pretty good knowledge of the products now. I do read a lot about not just RVing and RVs, but also the Winnebago stuff. I'm on their website often, trying to like just keep up to date to some of the things that they're coming out with. And I just enjoy. Luckily, not only do I enjoy RVing, but I like all the business side of the RVing industry, and I like following that stuff. I like the business side of the campgrounds and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it helps. I appreciate you saying that we have good personalities too. I think I missed Richard. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I will say it's a lot easier with Sabrina here. Hemi says, hello and good morning, RVers. My father is a very big Hemi engine fan. I'm sure that's where that comes as well, that Hemi. And he uses Hemi online as well for a lot of his stuff. So what else do we have going on? And some of the things I mentioned, I wanted to say, you know, if you guys are traveling and stuff like that, RV Parky is a good app. It's an app that Sabrina and I use. We get questions about like apps that we use. RV Parky we like because it's free and it's easy to go on and just see like what other people are saying about campgrounds and overnight stays. Even that's what we use it more for. Is the Bell's back there growling? Is seeing what a Flying J is like for a night, or a rest area, or a Cabela's, or a Cracker Barrel is actually a really good spot too. If we can stay at a Cracker Barrel, we'd try to stay at Cracker Barrels too. But I think out of all the places that we stay the most, my favorite, it's not Sabrina's favorite, is probably a Flying J. Sabrina's favorite is the casinos. Some of these casinos have awesome overnight RV stays, and they'll give you a deal like you go in and you grab their card and you get maybe a free dinner or money off a dinner. Some even have like RV sites where they'll give you free hookups. There's one in Oklahoma that we did a video on. You were allowed to stay for 3 days with full hookups, and they didn't charge you. And the hope is that you go in there and spend that money in the casino, and they will make up for, make up for that loss, I guess. I don't know, loss of electricity and stuff like that. I hear good things about the what was that? I just missed it. The Campendium, but we've never used it, but I do hear good things about it. Yeah, the casinos are a great spot. They're definitely. I think I would say that they are Sabrina's favorite spot. And again, they're great spots because one, security, not just in cameras but in lights, but all the casinos have somebody like driving around in a golf cart or truck. I don't think we've ever been to a casino that did not have some type of security driving around the parking lot. And that always makes you feel good when you're in an area that you know nothing about. You know, a lot of times we'll arrive to an area and it's already night. And we have no idea, like, first time we've ever been to a spot and we don't know what that area is like. So it's nice to have a little bit of security and things like that. And that's kind of the thing that I like about the Flying J's is that they're usually well lit. They have cameras. They're open 24 hours, same as the casino. So, you know, for both of those things being open 24 hours, you know, there's somebody there. The Cabela's, they're great. They got the lights, they got the cameras, but they're not open 24 hours. There's not always somebody there. That's not to say, but we've never had a problem at Cabela's, and we look for Cabela's. But the casino and the Flying J's, the fact that somebody's there 24 hours and they're open 24 hours, I think that's always good too. Safety and food, yeah, I'm always in for food. And a lot of the times, even the smaller casinos are very nice inside. Most of them, even if you're not a gambler, you can go in and grab something to eat. They usually have a fountain soda machine, and you get free refills. I mean, they want you to hang out. They want you to feel good. They want you to spend money. Is the whole plan behind it. So I saw that Wyoming had snow already. It's you know it is that's the one of the tricky parts about driving in the winter. Like even now, because like you're saying, Wyoming's already got some snow. So when we leave Iowa, go to Minnesota, yada yada, down to Virginia and everything, when we go across, the fastest route for us would probably be 40. But because we're traveling late November into December, we'll probably take 10 just because it's a little warmer, less chance of running into bad weather or snow or anything like that. It adds time onto the trip. But if we can make it through a little easier, I know the first year that we were RVing in the winter, we had taken 40 and we were hitting a lot of nights where it was below freezing. And what happens is everybody starts shutting their water off across the country, and not so much at the campgrounds. They do it at the campgrounds too, but mainly at the gas stations. So we're in here, we're using we didn't know any better. So we're in here using our water like we normally would. And we got to a gas station. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, the water, we needed to refill our water. They were like, oh, I'm sorry, our water shut off because the temperatures are too cold. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. And that happened like all the way across the country. Every place that we went to, even places that would have water, told us. We were in New Mexico at the time, and they even had snow, and they would not share their water. They said, we have water, but unfortunately we're not allowed to share with you because our water is trucked in. I guess we were in a very rural area of New Mexico where the gas station, I don't know if this is true or not, or they were just pulling our leg now that I think about it, but apparently they didn't have like regular plumbing and their water was trucked in. And they have, just like our RV has a freshwater tank. He said that they had an enormous water tank, and that the owner of the gas company or gas station did not allow the employees to share water. So, especially in the winter season, I guess, which is fine. You know, we should have known a little better, but these are the things that you learn as you go along. We now carry 2 6-gallon water jugs with us. So we fill them up plus our fresh water tank, giving us 64 plus 12, 78 or something like that. Maybe. Not great at math. Yeah, that's the problem with 10 though. It is poorly maintained across the country. It is a lot of potholes. It's a lot of, which is surprising because there's construction every time we go through it. There are a lot of accidents. Well, there's a lot of accidents on every road I guess we go through. But 40 is a smoother road. So when we're traveling warmer climate, we always take 40. 10, yeah, 10's a pretty beat up road. But you know what, to be honest, we find, roads everywhere, especially here on the East Coast, Philadelphia area, the Pennsylvania area, they're just, oh man, they're brutal on the RVs. They beat us up so bad. Then somebody else, 10 interstate, pretty horrible. I know. I know. What was I going to say? Horrible roads, the water. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I even have a couple notes here, but I talk so gosh darn fast. I go through them so fast. Like when I'm writing these notes, I got like 6, 7 things written down. And I'm like, oh, okay, that'll take me a little bit of time. And I get to chat with everybody. So the bunkhead, the bunkhouse are awesome choice for people with kids. Definitely do that. And then even later on, like if the kids are getting to an age where they're getting older and maybe they're not traveling with you, then you could take that bunkhouse and convert it into like a little office area, or you keep it as bunkhouse for when you have guests and things like that. Sabrina and I really like, even though we don't have kids, I remember when we were shopping for an RV, we would always look at those bunkhouses because we always thought they had really nice setups. And obviously, we like the Class A. Our next RV will be a Class A again. So definitely fans of the Class A, even though this windshield is a rock magnet. We love the view out of that windshield. Even when we're parked at a campground, like right now, we have a view. You probably can't see out there because of the light, but even though it's super cloudy, but we have a view of a pond, and there's ducks walking back and forth and all the time. We have our 2 captain's chairs up here with a table. This is where I have my coffee in the morning. And we open up the curtain. So the 2 side windows and the front windshield, I always think of it as like my, what do they call it? A bow window or a bay window. And it's just really nice views, even when you're not driving, even when you're at a campground. It offers nice views of the campground. Or there was a time that we parked on a beach once. It was like RV parking on beaches, and the windshield faced the ocean. And we would just open that up, and you had nobody in front of you. It just, you're kind of like elevated a little bit, and you just looked out onto the beach and the ocean. So you get really nice views out of these Class A's, and you get a lot of storage. They usually have large water capacity. We're definitely big fans of the Class A. That's not to say that we would never buy anything else. It's just that we really like the Class A. It's worked out really well for us. So the bunkhouse, even to us, was appealing because you could do more with it than just keep them as beds. And in fact, a lot of the RV companies now, the manufacturers, are turning these bunkhouses into like pre-designed so that you could flip them up and turn them into a little office space or a knitting area. Not a knitting area, but that's what you could use it for, I guess. Like an arts and crafts station. So they're getting with it. I guess they're understanding the appeal of the bunkhouse areas. Let's see what else is going on. I tried to make a video. Oh, I'm having such bad luck making a video for the thermostat that we bought. So we bought a Micro Air Easy Touch RV thermostat, and it's like a smart thermostat for your RVs. So I can control the thermostat now with my phone, and it's programmable. It has auto settings and all this stuff. And I tried to make a video of the install, and I had audio issues. So after it was installed, I went back and I tried to just like do like a step-by-step type of video, even though it was already done using the footage that I had from the first video. I made the video. I uploaded it to YouTube. I think our internet must have I don't know what happened, but something happened either on our end or YouTube's end, and it scrapped the video on it failed uploading to YouTube, and it scrapped the video in my iMovie, which has never happened before. So I was like, oh, well, now that's twice I just tried to make this video. So I don't know. I don't think I'm making a how-to. I will say it was crazy easy to install. So that's the plus side to it. And on Beyond the Wheel podcast right now, we're giving away a Micro Air Easy Touch thermostat. And I think it's about $250. They gave me a discount. I think I paid slightly less than that. They gave me a nice discount. I think like I got 10% off because we had them on our show and we talked to them. But we're giving one away. I don't know. Sean and I are not allowed to enter our own contests. Otherwise, I would have just waited and entered. But we bought it for Bell more than anything else. So not only can you control it with your phone, but we can monitor the temperature back at the RV if we would ever leave Bell. It's very rare, but if we would leave Bell alone, we can monitor the temperature, and then we can actually adjust the temperature because it connects to Wi-Fi. And that was a big feature for us. We could even turn our AC on now. Like if we were to leave in the morning and it was cold out or something like that, and then for some reason it got warm out, we would be able to turn the AC on while away from the RV and know that she's okay, which is nice. The collapsible Yeah, those Matt and Maria, our friends Matt and Maria, nomadic native who does not make YouTube videos anymore, but they had the bladder, and that's a great way to go too. The problem that I would have with the bladder, Matt had a pump. He carried a pump, and he would just transport it that way. I like the barrels or the 6 gallon containers because I can just pick them up and put them into our gravity fed. I don't need a pump or anything like that. So that was the advantage for me. Once you fill it up with water, for me, I don't know. I like simple. It's just easy for me to grab a barrel and just load it and gravity feed it. But yeah, the bladders are a great way because you'll be able to hold so much more water with them. And then when you're not using them, they collapse. So they're not taking up a lot of space. So there's definitely advantages to the bladder too. Let me see. What else do I have? I should, now that I can see myself, I should have shaved. You know what's happening as I get older? One of these sides is getting gray and the other side isn't, and it makes my beard look uneven, even though it's not. It's just gray hair. I swear, I know how to make this even. I might have to start dyeing it. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that too. John, I have heard of that way as well, using a drill and an attachment to pump the water. I've never really looked too much into it. I guess, I'm somebody that gets kind of stuck in their ways too. Like we've used the 2 6 gallon water containers and they've worked well for us. So I'm not one to try, I guess, something else. I don't know. I just stick with what I guess I know type of thing. But that's what happens too when you get older. You start getting stuck in your ways and you're not as willing to try new things, I guess. What was the other thing? There was something else I wanted to tell you about this trip, and I don't remember what. I am curious to see, though, like I said earlier, really curious to see how Sabrina does driving that Vita. I think she'll be fine, but I will say that she scares me on the road. I don't ride with her. I do all the driving in the RV, and we used to do, so I would drive the RV and she would drive the car, but she was scaring me too much behind the wheel of the car. So now I do all the driving behind while in the car and in the RV. I don't know. She makes me very nervous. That might be more me than her, though. I mean, she's not doing anything outrageous. It's just apparently I'm not a very good passenger. Oh man. I do plan on videotaping our trip up to Iowa. What I'm going to do is maybe just like record. I always use the term B-roll. Sabrina always laughs at me, but I'll just record like things that we're doing, the packing up, the driving, maybe the spots that we stop at along the way. And then I'll just like sit down and talk about it, put the footage all together on top of it. And they'll be edited. They won't be live videos. Come on, you want to come sit with me? All right, pal. Back and forth this one. Get your butt out of my face. Let me see. My wife makes me nervous too. Yeah. Yeah, it might be a common thing. I make her nervous. So it's I don't know who makes who more nervous, but I don't make her as nervous as we used to be when we first met. I had a Mustang at the time, and I used to go to, I lived in Philadelphia. I used to go to Maple Grove Raceway, and I would race it on weekends. So I had a little bit of work done to it, and I would terrify her in that Mustang. She hated the Mustang. She was so happy. When we moved into the RV, I couldn't bring the Mustang, so we had to sell it. She does not miss the Mustang at all. She didn't like the sound of it. She didn't like the launching from traffic light, nothing about that car. I don't think there was one thing about that Mustang that she liked. No, I've never driven in the Caribbean or anything like that. Winter. Yeah, I that used to be it is such a bummer, Chris. I remember when we first bought the RV, we bought it, I believe, in January and brought it home. We weren't living in it, obviously, at the time. We had an apartment and we had to put it in storage because we bought in January and we moved in it in May, and we were just on to little trips in between to kind of practice and get the feel of RVing. And I remember winterizing it and being so bummed out that we had to winterize it in between our trips. It was so sad. When Sabrina and I were so excited to get on the road, I remember we bought it. We lived in Roanoke, Virginia at the time. We bought it in Ohio, drove it back to Virginia, and then we would, any excuse we had to take it out, we took it out. So we weren't too far from the Blue Ridge Parkway. We would pack a lunch, drive over to the storage, grab the RV, even if it was winterized, grab the RV, drive it up to the Blue Ridge Mountains, go to an an overlook or one of the, an area view out, and we would sit in the dinette and look out at the overview and just have our lunch in the RV. We were just excited to be in it. It's kind of funny. I mean, sometimes we would just go over to the RV at storage and just sit in it and have lunch and not even take it anywhere. We just wanted to, we were so excited. We just couldn't wait. From January to May, we just couldn't wait to be in the RV and traveling. And then of course, the little drives, I think they helped just, getting accustomed to driving it. And we had the car all set up for towing. So, we would drive it around and just tow the car and kind of just do like just short little practice runs. Every once in a while, we would de-winterize it, then take it to a state park and do like a 2-day, 3-day weekend at a state park. I remember the first time that we took it to a state park, the people in RVing are super friendly. Campers are super friendly. We always say this. I remember we parked at the site, we got out and we started doing all the hookups, and somebody came over to us and said, "Hey, you guys look kind of young for RVers and your RV looks kind of new. Would you like a hand or do you need a hand?" And I think we were okay, but I just thought it was really nice that somebody came by and offered to help us. It was like kind of our first RV kind of introduction of owning our own rig and going to a campground. And this person was so, I mean, I don't know. They floored me when they came over and asked if we needed help setting up, because we've been to tons of hotels and no other customer at a hotel has ever come up to us and say, "Hey, do you need help getting up to your room? Do you want me to help you carry your bags or anything like that?" And I thought this was crazy that the very first time that we take the RV out, somebody comes over and asks us if we need help setting up the RV. I thought that was super. I don't know, can you hear her? She's like, "Oh my God, you're still talking." But yeah, people with RVing and everything's super nice. Super nice. But I think that's all I have to say for now. Sabrina's pretty busy. I hope to get her to sit down. I mean, once we start traveling, of course, she'll be driving and stuff. And maybe I can get her to go live after the second day or something like that, after her nerves calm down. But I think that is it. If you're interested in the Easy Touch thermostat, you can go to our Beyond the Wheel podcast.com. I should have probably put a link somewhere that would have been a little more helpful, I suppose, but I did not. I'll put one in the comments. And geez, I'm sure there's other stuff that I gotta say, but I don't know. I'll just say take care, everybody. Safe travels, and we will catch you later. All right, everybody. Bye. Be good. Have a fun weekend. Hopefully it's not raining where you are.